Hello everyone and welcome to tonight's presentation of Rocket League here with SAGU Esports here on SAGU Sports Network. I'm James and we're here with Coach Zach, coach of SAGU Esports here. We got an exciting night of Rocket League coming up. We got SAGU against Ohio Northern Orange, 3-0 undefeated team. They're pretty good.
Yep, pretty good. Makes me wonder, what the odds are of really winning these matches. I still always will choose the underdog story. So yeah. The odds are great for me.
Hey, and if we win, it's gonna work out great. We're actually gonna hop right into this first game, just right off the bat. And let's see here. Yeah, we got lean for Ohio Northern. And we got Bon. He's going to just poke this one up, and Ohio Northern, they're going to see if they can get something going on offense. SAGU doing a good job keeping the offense going here in the early going.
Yeah, they have this. We had this idea back last year, was the Anaconda plan, which was do as much offensive pressure as we can to take their boost. Let them starve, let them not be able to do anything. Even if we miss shots, if we're still putting shots on net, it's effective. So I think, getting up in the air. Oh, what a 50 by lean.
And here's Hood. He's going to make a shot off the crossbar. No one to follow, though. And so far, interesting first 60 seconds here of game number one.
Yeah, I think our guys came into this extremely warm. They've been playing for at least an hour before that, and probably Kyle's been playing for longer. So I think they're going to be really fluid tonight. I'm super excited to see it, and it looks like, this is the second time it's been on our side?
Yeah, SAGU's done a good job really controlling the ball and just controlling the possession. And you could tell Ohio Northern, they're uncomfortable right now in the early going. Here's a shot up ahead. Lean's going to have to make a little push to the corner just to keep SAGU again. And even again, when Ohio Northern, they're making their offensive attack, they're just long passes that SAGU's able to control and send back the other way.
Yep. Look at that, like Kyle trying to control it right there, but it still ends up being with Watto. I love the rotations that are happening right now. It's making the game seem fluid. Passes are happening. Look at that. Right up to Kyle. Kyle's going to be able to do something off the ceiling. A little questionable.
He's trying to get something going early. No score here about 2 minutes in. He's looking for any kind of crease to get things rolling. SAGU is in the orange here. Ohio Northern in the blue. At the bottom left, you'll see a little card depending on which player we're viewing, and there's in the brackets you actually see ONU for Ohio Northern, and SAGU is in that orange, and you'll see that when we go to one of their perspectives. Again, just to clear to the midfield, and SAGU again doing a good job of even when Ohio Northern gets the ball past midfield, SAGU uses a demo, which is when a car is going full speed, and they're at their max speed and they hit another car. You are taken off the pitch for 3 seconds, and so far, all good for SAGU.
Yeah, it's almost the soccer equivalent to a yellow card. Bully someone, they're off the field, you're off the field for a few seconds or minutes, but in here, 3 seconds is a lot of time. This game does not stop. It doesn't have any pauses or timeouts. Once that timer starts, you go until there's a winning score or until there's the golden goal in overtime.
And you see Ohio Northern, they're getting some shots on the goal. It's not like their offense has been shut down. They're just so savable. They're not high velocity, and it's just one person in the net for SAGU who's able to block it. But that one they're not able to, as this aerial is going to go in, and Ohio Northern will draw first blood.
I guess it really doesn't need to be high velocity, right?
No.
There's a little bit of a bang right there. For those of you guys who don't know, banging the ball is just hitting it really hard. You'll see a trail that follows of whoever's color team hit it, so blue or orange. It'll follow on that. But not really, a high-velocity shot. Wasn't big on the speed. It was just a floater, and sometimes those are even better than just sending the ball as hard as possible into the net.
And this is a game of physics. The angles, the velocity, that's how you win this, in controlling the ball. And he just had a great angle that he was able to read there, and we're about under 90 seconds left in this game, and so far feels pretty even, but at the moment SAGU on the negative end of on the scoring line.
Yep, that was a crazy reactive touch by Watto earlier. Now coming from Hood off to the side, he's going to set himself up. If that's over, that might be in. Saved by Bon.
What a good save there. Keeps this a shutout right now for the Polar Bears of Ohio Northern.
And what we've seen a lot from SAGU, at least throughout the season, from our perspective, is we don't really lose by more than 1 goal in a game. It's not really like we're completely shut out by a team. It's our guys play okay and they play good and they play, but there's just the one opportunity that's taken advantage of by the other team.
Speaking of opportunity, here's one for Ohio Northern, but SAGU able to poke it away safely. Yeah, we're in week 4 here in ECAC competition. In the first week, SAGU came away with a win. Every game was a 1-goal game, win or lose.
Yep.
And SAGU, they know how to stay in games, and we're in yet another one right here, as that one's on target, and Watto's not able to save that one. And this is going to be a tough one for SAGU to come back from here in game number 1.
Yep, just chipping the defense and chipping the goalie right here. Bad 50 on Kyle's part. 50 is where you both have a chance, an equal chance of hitting the ball. But no touch by Kyle led to that goal, and that's just an unfortunate thing. But you got to make sure your mental is right, get your mentality good, and pick it back up and get ready for the next shot.
Talked about earlier in the game, a little uncomfortable for Ohio Northern. So far, looks like they're finding some rhythm as the first one right here. And again, just an offensive attack, as a great save there by Crazy Kyle. That was almost goal number 3. We'll see if SAGU keep it in the air. Even though the clock is at 0, as long as the ball doesn't touch the ground, you can play on, and that is going to end it. Ohio Northern is going to take game number 1 here by a modest 2-0 score.
Yep. And really, if we're looking at the stat lines, there's not a whole lot of offensive pressure by SAGU. We had more possession in their side, but there was only 3 shots taken, registered shots.
Yeah.
This game doesn't have a great counting system, but it's pretty accurate. So 3 shots as compared to what, 12? Obviously, Ohio wanted to pick it up, the pressure, and start putting things on net. And really, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take, but if you're not putting shots on net, you also miss those shots.
And Ohio Northern with 11 shots on goal. Like I said, they really found their rhythm. They figured something out. What do you think SAGU needs to do here in game 2?
I think that Hudson can't be a defensive player.
He had no shots.
Yep, I believe he can't be a defensive player. He's great, and most people like to have a hard anchor as a third man. I know in like rec league soccer, you put your best players, usually the defender, center defense, they can navigate the field and handle everything. That's not how this needs to work. Hudson needs to be the striker, needs to be the guy that's up there, and Kyle and Watto need to make sure they can feed him the ball as many times as possible. I think that's the key to success for SAGU, and I think that honestly, if they start implementing that, we're going to see a big change in momentum.
Yeah, and SAGU here, this is a big game right here. You do not want to go down 2-0 here in this best of 7. You like to get it even early on and keep it close. All right, game 2, kickoff. Now, one thing in Rocket League is you can sometimes, if you get your team positioned in the right way and things kind of go your way, you can get what's called a kickoff goal. And that's where you are lined up and kind of like right here with Ohio Northern.
Yeah. Lined up just in the right spot. Beats Hood right here with the little flick, passes it to Lean. Lean has a good shot. Lots of power on there, just over the top of Watto.
And here's another kickoff that, again, if you're Ohio Northern, you like seeing that ball bounce towards the SAGU goal. SAGU going to almost return the favor. Crazy Kyle with a pretty good shot right there.
Oh, and just leaves the net open.
If you leave, and in Rocket League, when you leave, when you go for an attack and you go to put the ball in, sometimes you are susceptible to a counterattack, which is kind of what happened right there.
Yep. And that's the nature of the game. And the nature, honestly, of the game that we're playing right now is if you guys want to break it down to something catchy and simple, it's like Hot Wheels and soccer at the same time with boost or rocket boost. It's pretty crazy. Indoor soccer, you can go on the walls, you can fly in the air. You guys have seen some of this already, but just to reiterate, there's a lot of physics and mechanics that come into this game, but essentially the root is, hey, let's play soccer on a different level, on a mechanical or a tangible physics level for the game. So that's kind of the idea. And we have a good shot here by Hood.
And he gets that demo right there we talked about earlier. That's going to open up a little bit of a lane, but Ohio Northern was able to respawn in time. Now in Rocket League, you can drive your car around much in the way we drive our cars in real life. You can steer, you can use your gas to go forward, you can go in reverse. But one thing these cars can do is what you saw right there, which is jumping and flipping into the ball, and you're able to get so much velocity on it.
Yeah.
Nice touch right there.
And what's crazy is that there's speed levels too for this. There's like normal driving speed, okay, and then there's top speed, and then there's supersonic speed. And you guys will see supersonic speed when these players are driving and they have a trail behind their car on their back two tires. This means that they're liable to be able to demo someone, or if they hit the ball, it goes faster and harder than it would normally. So if you guys keep an eye out and pay attention to detail and someone blows up and you're like, how did that happen? Well, the other car was going supersonic and they reached maximum speed.
And that right there was a pinch. When you get the car against a wall, like a surface or another car, and you get at the right angle, that ball moves so fast. And sometimes the players can control it, and it's almost indefensible if you are trying to protect the net. As again, this offensive attack for the Polar Bears is keeping SAGU busy here in game number 2.
Such control by Bonbon right there, taking it off the ceiling, touching it, taking it in the air, touching it off the ceiling, then bouncing it. I think it's not a pinch, but it's just another slight touch onto the ground. Watto almost getting the save, but just had a bad 50.
And it is a game of physics. It's tough. If you get one part of your car going the wrong direction, your momentum carries you right away from the ball, which is what we kind of saw on defense right there. SAGU, man, no goals scored yet. You'd like to see them get something going here, just a first goal, just to maybe open things up, because you have to like what can happen with just a little momentum for the Lions.
Yep. And if you guys notice here, there's two main types of cars that you're going to see. One is called the Octane, which is on your screen right now. It's still the same one. Most of the people use it. It's kind of the one that's used for the professional level. The other one, if you notice Crazy Kyle using it, is called the Fennec. That car, in essence, great goal by ONU. Just hitting the top corners where SAGU can't defend it.
Yeah, they've been a good job getting it towards the edges. They're not putting it in the middle. You can see right here, he's got a chance. He's putting it on the far edge and actually bounces off the side of the inside of the goal. It's arguably one of the hardest goals you can make, and he made it look very easy.
Yep. It's just crazy. This game is wild. I love it. Going to Kyle's car, it's a Fennec. So there's different boxes on each car that counts as where it physically can be, and they call those hit boxes, or that's just the outline of and shape of the car. Well, the Fennec has these ones that are a little different than the Octane. Every car has something different about it to a point, and they just hit a little harder. It's a little flatter. It's kind of a bully car, is what I like to call it, because it can just be a big, beefy monster that can just send the ball. The Octane can do stuff, and it's great, and it's very technical, but the Fennec is just supposed to be this big car.
And that pass right there, I think it was a pass or an attempted goal right here by Lean. He's going to hit this off the backboard, which is just the back wall, and leaves it for his teammate. That was a very difficult goal right there with his the way he's trying to flip into the ball. He gets to use the inside corner. Again, they're just painting the corners here on the goal for SAGU, and it's becoming a runaway so far here in game 2.
Yep. And we got to try to figure out, if you're SAGU, what's the thing that's happening right now? I think there's a lot of rotations that's not happening. Making sure that everyone's in their right position is what we call rotation. So if someone's the first man, they usually hit the ball up forward and try to strike. Or they pass to the second man who's going to be there for the rebound like we saw in the previous goal. Or there's the third man who's kind of the defender / cleanup guy. So they stay back and they make sure they handle all these things that are going to be happening within their team, and that there's no open space for the enemy team to hit.
And another one, as you say that, you had two SAGU players there in the net, but Bonbon just unstoppable here so far tonight. And he, again, finds that corner. The dueling dragons come out as the goal explosion, and SAGU really just needs to get a goal here for the road, just to head into game 3 with some kind of momentum.
Yep, I think you need to make sure, if you're SAGU, that it's like, hey, we still have to pick ourselves up after this. This is still a best of 7. No matter what, there's at least 2 more matches that need to be played. You need to make sure you put your best effort out for that.
And here's a double tap I think Watto's going for off the wall. That's going to be an open net, but it's going to go wide left off the post. That was probably SAGU's best chance at a goal this game, and it just goes wide left.
Looks like they have him off in their side, though. It doesn't look like any really ONU members have a lot of boosts except for the one who got it from mid, but then here you are. You lost possession, and now you have to scramble again for your neutral.
Yeah, you can see in the midfield right there when that ball comes across the middle, Kyle is, and that was a miss there really by Bonbon. He's made tougher goals in this game, and that's just how Rocket League is. It's you know, we say in football it's a game of inches. This is a game of pixels. It's just a few can make all the difference. And that's going to be game number 2 as SAGU, man, they struggled. And this Ohio Northern team, let's be honest here. They are undefeated right now. They've played great so far. They got 10 shots that game. Lean went off with a hat trick.
And what do we see again? 3 shots
combined for the Lions.
Three shots. Lots of. Sorry, go ahead.
I'll just say it's on the right side there on the orange. If you guys are, I know maybe that text might be a little small, but right by that ping number where it's green, 1 shot apiece for the Lions.
And what did we see from those shots? 1 miss, 1 save. I think the other one was just off. So
close.
So what's the issue here? Well, you can't make shots unless you're getting clears out to their other side. So there's passing and that needs to be implemented. There's, you know, viewing your field that you want to have and where's the open space and where your teammates actually at. And I don't know. There's just not a lot of only 3 saves on 10 shots. That means they missed 1.
Yeah.
There's a lot of clearing that isn't happening while SAGU is on
and
defense.
Clearing is just when you defensively, you're just getting the ball away from the net. You're just going, you know, I don't really care where the ball goes. Ideally, you'd like to control it, but you're just clearing it. You're getting it maybe to the midfield, hopefully further, as we see Ohio Northern getting a quick attempt at a kickoff goal. And that is not going to work out for them. Kyle's got control here. He's in the air. He's doing a little air dribbling. He's trying to get the ball downfield and some good defense. Hood's going to center it here for Watto, who I think he got bumped by one of the polar bears of Ohio Northern. Right there, maybe a double commit, and that's going to leave an empty net, but Hood's able to get back and keep this a 0-0 game early, which is good news for the Lions here to get started.
Excellent save by Watto. Wow.
Oh, my.
Way to be up there.
Elite level. Hood's going to go up, but I think he ran out of boost. So this is going to go back on the SAGU side of the field. See if Watto can get anything going here for the Lions. As again, they are looking, we're in game 3, and for the first time this season, they have gotten this deep and are still looking for that first goal. Bonbon's going to accelerate to the middle of the field.
Hood trying to control, might get something out of this, maybe a pass, a good ground pinch, but nothing was able to provide fruit. Watto being able to carry, gets a pinch again. This means Kyle should be showing up. Yep, that's the rotation that we're looking for right there.
And there are some players in this game who are just great at the 50-50. When you and your opponent go for the ball, some players, they just have a way of winning. They little bit of an angle, they angle their car, they use their tires, they do something to find a way. And I promise Ohio Northern, they have practiced these 50s. It's like they win. It's more like a 90-10, not a 50-50 when they get in these situations.
Yeah, it's very rare to see SAGU actually win from one of these. Even Hood not technically getting the ball to go in his favor for this.
Oh, and a nice little Hood made a little shimmy, I guess, the little ground dribble trying to get the ball to the net, and he made it close, but you like to see a few shots going in here for SAGU as we're getting close to midway through the game. No score, so this is definitely the best game so far for the Lions. Looks like they might be figuring out something, but so far nothing coming together on the offensive side of the ball.
You can see that physically the Lions are getting a little bit more aggressive. We've seen a lot of demos recently, a lot of bumps that they're coming out of rotation with, and I think that's what's changing this game. It's not just, hey, I got past their side. It's, hey, I beat up their guy, got past their side. You should be able to take the shot now.
And Bonbon's going to take one on the net if Hood can get it, and he is able to make the save. They were going for a bump on Hood there in the air. That's what the crazy thing about Rocket League. You can bump cars in the air and get an angle. And Ohio Northern's done a very good job of that, and it's one of the reasons they're one of the best teams in the country. And right here, he's gonna pass this up ahead to Apex, and Crazy Kyle's going to be in the way to make a modest save. But Kyle's low on boost. This isn't setting up very well for SAGU. As you're going to see a couple of shots here by Ohio Northern, I'm sure. Huge clear, but there's Lean at the midfield. They're doing a great job of just sitting at midfield, waiting for that pass to come in and just keeping SAGU from getting any offense going.
Yep. It goes from stopping them from clearing the ball hard to stopping them from clearing the ball in the direction they want to stopping them from clearing the ball with boost. Then you're getting goals. And that's what ONU's been executing with.
That was Crazy Kyle's probably best shot of this game. Hey, it's still no score right now. We're coming up on, we're 80 seconds left in this one. This is first one to score here. I don't feel like we got 2 goals in this game. It's possible, but it feels like whoever gets the goal here, that's going to be it. As there's a huge demo at the net for SAGU, and they're able to clear it. Close call there for the Lions.
Looks like Hudson's taking this up on his own. Wants to get in the air. There's, fakes one ONU. Oh, the other one is
Hudson
there to
calls his
touch.
own number. Kyle's there. If this can bounce off the wall, this is good news for the Lions. That's going to go off the crossbar again. Watto is just finding that crossbar tonight. And that's going to be the first goal for SAGU. 1-0.
Yes. Oh, my goodness. You know how relieving it is to see a goal go in for your team?
I think I think right there, the pass in Rocket League there aren't really sharp corners. They've cut the corners off, and that went off that corner. I think it bounced out further than Ohio Northern was expecting, and that opened up a great opportunity for SAGU to finally get on the board. 40 seconds left, and it's Pex is going to just tie this up. I said there was only 1 goal. I was wrong.
I was just about to say that as soon as 1 goal happens, it's never just 1. There's always at least 2 more. Here's the second one. And it doesn't matter from which team. The walls get broken down, and somehow they start finding things to make work. And it's crazy, but it's 4 minutes of conditioning to start for 2 goals at 38 seconds.
This is a game of chess. And speaking of, Crazy Kyle had a shot there, but that was blocked by the Polar Bears, as they're going to go off the crossbar and go for their own. And we're seeing the offenses, they're taking more chances here in the last 60 seconds. These teams want this one. If you're SAGU, you do not want to go down 3-0. You have got to find a goal here, ideally in the next, 12 seconds here in regulation. You don't really want to go to overtime with this team.
Nope. I wouldn't want to go here. I don't think our guys want to go here. This is about clearing the ball right here, getting it to Hood. Hood making a play.
A huge play, and he's going to put it in with 0 seconds. SAGU is going to steal game number 3 on a great play by Hood off the backboard.
Hey, remember what I said on game number 1? He needs to be on offense.
That's why right there. That's exactly what the doctor ordered. SAGU's not going down 3-0 here to the undefeated Polar Bears of Ohio Northern. This is a win, and look at that. Hood with 3 shots. Last game 0, and look at that.
Yep.
2 goals from it. And SAGU is now, feels like they've got the momentum now in this series.
Hopefully. It looks to be a little bit more balanced, at least on the stat sheet. We're going in with 6 shots compared to 7. ONU just not being able to find the back of the net as much. But they did have less saves. So you got to think about, hey, did SAGU miss more, or were they not considered saves, or was the chance of, hey, ONU was getting stretched thin so they couldn't make accurate saves, so they couldn't reset the ball, take advantage for what they want. I think SAGU is starting to be able to pick apart the defense and say, hey, if we start hitting these specific areas, we can start making our own momentum happen and grow, and in this way we'll start scoring more. So I like the confidence that's coming from it, because when Hood starts popping off, everyone starts feeling really good, because he's one of the center points of the team, and I think that this will be a great momentum shift, hopefully, into this next game.
SAGU doing a much better job controlling the ball, and with that, more shots, and with that, more goals. But a clutch goal. We cannot stress enough how clutch that play was. The setup, getting the ball to your playmaker, moving down the field with 0 seconds left on the clock. That clock is at 0. The ball has to touch the ground for the game to be over, and as long as you keep it in the air, you can play as long as you want. And Hood did a great job getting SAGU in a great spot here to start game number 4. The first 2 games, SAGU doesn't score a goal, but it doesn't matter. It's just a loss. It's 2-1.
Wow.
Great save there by Hood. I think he wants an MVP title tonight, man. He is doing it on offense, defense. He's doing what it's going to take to come away with the win here. Ohio Northern, it looks like they're just out of system right now. They're jumping at the ball, and they're just hoping they get a touch on it.
Yep, looks like they're trying to control it here, but even then, they still can't hit it. Hood even having to back away from the whole situation because it was just weird.
Great touch by Kyle there to keep Pex away from the ball, but They're on the, and right there you have a double commit by Ohio Northern, and somehow Hood kept that ball out of the net to keep this a scoreless game. And this is feeling like a repeat of game number 3.
Absolutely. What a save. We got a nice clear over here. No touch.
And that's going to go in. Give SAGU the 1-0 lead.
What a snipe by Crazy Kyle. Coming out here, getting it off the wall, and just saying, hey, I just got to take the shot. We're going to make something happen. Whether it's a clear or a goal, it doesn't matter. But putting it with the nice power, nice aim. You know how many hours he spends aiming for shots? It's ridiculous. And it's paying off right here.
It's paying off in game 4 where SAGU suddenly, they feel confident. They're moving the ball. They feel comfortable moving in the air, on the ground. And now they've got the Polar Bears out of rotation, and they're just capitalizing.
Even Watto being able to get reads right there, like going into the wall, looking at the ball, not even looking where you're going, and being able to get the touch. I'm seeing a lot of great play. Oh, my goodness.
And Crazy Kyle is a crazy man. Bonbon right here puts it off the sidewall. Not a great move, but Kyle right here. Oh, breaking 2 axles on cars right here.
Dude, it's looking like me after my knee surgery, all right? Just looking like you're all over the floor. Excellent job by Kyle taking and flicking on these next people.
Like we said, the confidence. You just feel it with the Lions right here. They don't need to score 10 goals this game. They just need one more than the other team. And this series is tied. This is exactly what SAGU needed. And they're stepping up here. They're getting comfortable.
Yeah, it looks like ONU right now, though, is trying to get some bumps in the net, trying to make sure SAGU's not being able to counterattack on anything that they need to, but doesn't look like it's proving any fruit right here.
And you see right there, Lean is jumping and just missing. He's doing a last-ditch effort because the net is getting left open. Hex there makes a great save. SAGU there to put the ball on the goal. I don't have the total number, but I'm pretty sure SAGU's got twice the shots on goal as ONU right now. Hood. They're going to want to keep him away from the wall because when he gets to the wall, he gets to the air, and it's very hard to defend him when he's got the ball in the air. Watto's going to take a shot on goal, but for the 20th time tonight, it's going off the crossbar. Is that what he's been doing in training, trying to hit the ball to the crossbar? Because
I don't know.
He is so close.
I heard he got a new job as a mailman because he's the post master. Cannot go without hitting it on any side.
Well, luckily for the Lions, he's made some great plays on offense, passing the ball, getting some assists, just getting them into position to score, and then obviously some really critical saves against the crossbar. So I guess we can give him some love there.
Hey, if the crossbar is working on one team, it should be working for the other team as well, and I think that's what we saw with ONU shot earlier. But it looks like right now SAGU's just trying to rebound and get everything else that they need to do to get done.
What a shot by Hood. But fortunately, it was so unexpected SAGU wasn't there for the follow-up. And we're seeing Ohio Northern, these Polar Bears, we know what their strategy is right now here in Game 4. They don't want this tied. They had all the momentum. They're just going to go for the demo. And interesting.
So I was just about to say, it looks like they're trying to make desperate plays and desperate touches. Look, this flip right here by Lane. Okay, he puts him out of position, puts his team out of position. He was supposed to just ride up on the wall. He should have been able to come up and save that.
And that is an own goal. Like we talk about it being soccer. Soccer, you have own goals. That was an own goal, but by 2 different players by the Polar Bears. That's very rare. Sometimes you're in the wrong spot and you give a goal to the other team. But SAGU now with a 3-goal lead, as long as this defense does what they've been doing all game, they're pitching the shutout now.
I'm going to throw myself under the bus here. When we scrim with our guys, I'll play with Rocket League sometimes. Kyle seems to always find a way to hit the ball into me to go into the net for my team, and he calls it the Wilkie Special. I'm glad I'm not the only one.
He's ordering some Wilkie Specials here. Scrim is, now Wilkie brought up scrimming. Scrimming is scrimmaging. It's practicing. It's getting the teams ready. These are collegiate competitive athletic teams. They have to practice. These are very difficult maneuvers. The hand-eye coordination, the strategy, the communication. These are all the things that you'll see in any sport, be it football, basketball, volleyball, soccer, and it applies to esports. And these guys got to practice to get ready for game day.
Yep, it's any set practice against a set team, an established team. So we're not just playing against random Joe Schmo and his 2 friends. It's, hey, we're playing against this team. They work cohesively. They talk to each other, because when teams talk to each other, they play different. Even if you go queue up in competitive on Rocket League, it's like, hey, this is a good team. They're all pretty great. But what are the chances they're actually communicating with each other? Communication is very key to esports esports and any sport in general. And so when you scrim, it's like, hey, we're bringing that next level of competition here because these teams want to win and they want to get better as well. So it's not just we're playing to play, it's we are competing at the highest level that we can.
Yeah, one of the crazy things about these esports is this is going to wrap up game number 4. SAGU comes away with the pitching a nice shutout here as we even the series 2-2. One of the things about esports that's so different is when you play football or you play baseball, you've got to get people together on the field to play with you. So if it's 10 o'clock at night or 11 o'clock and you're like, hey, I want to go play football, you have to go get other guys to throw the ball to. If you want to play volleyball, hey, who can get in the gym? With esports, you can hop on any time of the day, 24/7, and immediately play a competitive match against people who are at your level.
Yep.
And that makes this so different than the traditional sports. But the skill, the keeping your mentality ready for anything that comes competitively, that is where esports is so much like the traditional sports. While they're not throwing bodies around, throwing the ball in the air, the mentality is everything. As we've seen here, SAGU with a huge comeback here.
Absolutely. And one of the other things that you have to think about too is that with esports, it's not just, hey, you have to have this mentality, you have to have big brain, big wrinkly brain, okay? You have to have that, but also the micro movements that happen with a controller or a keyboard and mouse. It's not simple. It is very technical and complicated. What these guys do, they make it look really easy for the most part. I still can't even do because of the time.
If you've ever hit reply all instead of reply, these guys are doing things that are millimeters with a controller to get the cars to move, to get things, to get their team in the right position. It's absolutely amazing. As we're going to open up game number 5 here. This is the momentum match right here. Mm-hmm. In a best of 7, whoever has this, you have the 3-2 advantage, and you do not want to go to game number 7.
No, we actually have a phrase, no game 5s. That's because all of our matches were best of 3.
Or best of 5.
Yeah, they were, best of 5. So we were like, hey, when your game's 3-2 or 3-1 or 3-0, don't go 3-2 or don't go 2-3. Because you never want to get the other team a chance.
You never want to give them that chance. As Watto's going to get a little shot here downfield. If that's on target, that's probably a goal. And we're already seeing this attack from SAGU. Kyle almost put that one in again. Very close shots here for SAGU. You like to see the offense awake and alive here to get things going.
Sorry, was that a Skillet reference?
It was not, but we will count it as one for those who remember. Soul Skillet. Watto in the air. We see right there 3 SAGU players all together on the field. And in the game of Rocket League, you like to be a little more spread out. So a bit of a mistake by the Lions, but they're still able to turn that into a shot on the goal. And another and more offense and attack coming from the Lions.
Yep, I think they're starting to get in the mood of like, hey, let's hit and hit and hit and hit and hit and not relent on what we're trying to do here.
Yeah, the strategy here is clearly if we keep the ball in possession at the what a huge save there by Crazy Kyle, and it's unfortunately going to still end up in a goal for Bon Bon as the Polar Bears are going to draw first blood here in game number 5. But an incredible save right there by Kyle into the corner of the goal.
Absolutely, that was a world-class save right there. It just was unfortunate. You know, you had 2 ONU players coming in to take the shot. You can't do much about that.
And they are, you can see Ohio Northern, they are committing when someone's got a chance. They're just going to raid the goal, and we might see that get them out of position here. Like right about here, Pex is able to get a touch on that, but if he's not, that is a goal for SAGU. They're on the edge right now. They're pushing forward. They know they have to get things going, and so far, working out good for them.
Yeah, I think if we could be a little critical of one thing, when SAGU is getting offensive rebounds, they're hitting them off the backboard, but it's at angles that their team can't do anything with. So it's coming off at the wall, hitting into the next wall. Not just, hey, I'm hitting from side wall to backboard to drop to you or to be a center pass. It's, hey, I'm hitting into the opposite side. If we're going to be doing that, we need to make sure we're moving positions to be coming in from both sides so you can start rebounding off of that. That's just one of my little observations. I thought it was unique and would like to point that out. But
there's a big save there by Hoodrat as that ball was coming in hot into the net. And he's going to take it the other way. This might be a goal for the Lions, but Bon Bon in his Ford Shelby, I think, is able to get the save. And there's that counterattack we were talking about. And Kyle can't get around the ball. This is going to be a 2-0 lead for the Polar Bears.
Yeah, and this is probably just a communication error. When you see SAGU in the net, they defend, they try to clear. If they ever clear towards the net, there's usually an ONU player. I think SAGU just had the idea of, hey, we're up, or one person didn't say, hey, I'm going up, instead of hanging back. So it was just out of position. But looks like we're setting up for a passing play here. Hood going in with a shot into the net, saved by Bonbon.
This is great teamwork here by the Lions. 1, 2, 3. And you can see right now, Ohio Northern, they are all in the wrong spots. If SAGU get the right touch to the middle, this is going to be well for the Lions. It's going to end up going to the wall. And that's going towards the net, but not quite enough. As now the Lions here with 1:36 left, they've got their sights right on the Polar Bear goal.
Absolutely. I don't think there's a reason that they want to not put it in as soon as possible. I don't see a reason to let up on any offensive pressure right now.
Oh, Hood. I don't know if he was trying to redirect that, but you could tell Watto was looking for him downfield. They're seeing each other. They're looking for a chance to make something happen. So we're going to see this 50-50 in a corner. Always tough in the corner when a couple of cars get there. It's very hard to clear.
Oh, good pass.
Nice touch by Watto, but no one to follow up for the Lions. Now we know I've been noticing a lot more 50-50s being won by the Polar Bears, like we saw in the first two games, and so far 2-0 Ohio Northern. That's kind of their key to their victory. Watto's going to end up getting a nice shot on goal if someone's there to follow up for the Lions, and they're not.
Nope.
That was a good opportunity there.
Everyone going to get boost, getting back in rotation.
And that's the tough thing about this game. You know, the no pit stops, and Watto coming in hoping to get something off that back wall. There's no pit stops. It's not NASCAR. You have to pick up boost on the field, but when you pick up boost, there's none available for anywhere from 6 to 10 seconds, depending on which boost you're picking up. And you need that rocket boost to fly in the air, to accelerate faster than, say, just your normal drive. And that's getting SAGU out of position a little bit. And looks like Ohio Northern, they're going to get one for the road. Apparently, when they win games, they decide it's just going to be a shutout. That's just how the games are going to go. As it was 2-0 first game, 6-0 in the second, and here shaping up 3-0.
Yeah, and look at SAGU's 2 wins. They scored first.
The momentum is huge
in
this game. It's not a stat, but boy, it is definitely a huge part of the, like we've talked about, the mental part of the game.
Mm-hmm. It exists.
0 seconds. Ohio Northern, they're still going for it here. They're keeping the ball in the air. That is kind of a thing in Rocket League, is never let the ball hit the ground. But Kyle's going to clear it there to the ground. Ohio Northern taking game number 5, and they are now in control of this series.
Yep. And I don't like that happening. And look at this.
How about Lean? 8 shots on goal. That's as many as the entire team of SAGU combined. That's an outstanding game.
Yep. And this is what I would like to see from Hood is, he does have 4 shots, great, but what is the striker position for Lean? How accurate are his touches? How good is he doing? Is Hood getting the opportunity to do that? Or is Hood Rat saying, hey, I'm just hitting the shots that I feel like I'm comfortable with? Is Lean overextending? Did ONU get punished for that? But yeah, 11 shots to 8. That's still a shot advantage, which means theoretically you should be scoring more. And they did.
And SAGU had to save. They have 7 saves. That's a healthy amount. But hey, ONU with 7 saves.
Yep.
Not bad.
Yep. And that makes me feel a little better for the SAGU shot percentage. Only one of those was not a save because it was off. But you got to find the back of the net. The
opportunities are there. It's just about capitalizing on them.
Mm-hmm.
Can SAGU capitalize here in game number 6? Can they get the momentum? Can they force a game 7? We're about to find out here as game number 6 is about to start.
Did you realize that? Kyle changed his car.
Kyle has changed his car. So some players like to keep the same car. Kyle is not that guy.
Nope. This is the miracle car. This is styled by his favorite person. And I think, honestly, it means that he's starting to start styling in this game. It's a bold prediction, but hey, I'm going to say it, and I'll bite the dirt if I'm wrong. But I think they're going to be turning around, and SAGU's going to put some great offensive pressure this match.
There are some players on the pro circuit, they change their car every single time. And it's kind of a debate if changing that maybe gets you out of your rhythm, but sometimes that's good. Maybe if you feel like you know, you're not getting the touches you want. Sometimes changing the car, they have a little different shape. They hit the ball a little differently. It's a nice play by Hood to bring that over the middle, but Lean comes in. I don't think the game's going to count him with a shot on goal, but that should have counted.
Mm-hmm. Yep, that was a threat. That was definitely something that can get you sitting on the edge of your seat. So Lean's definitely still putting out pressure and making us worried and SAGU worried as he goes in the air. That means that if he's that much more of a threat, then we need to be able to shut him down in all aspects.
Ohio Northern trying to protect their undefeated record here in the ECAC. And this will be, after tonight, this will be halfway through the season. You know they'd love to be 4-0. But SAGU, they're giving them the business here. For a 1-2 team, SAGU is very dangerous, and they're showing it tonight as they've bounced back. They're not giving easy shots for Ohio Northern, as this is a dangerous ball right here that works out well for the Lions.
No boost from Hood. Looks like it's still 0 boost in a dream. Kyle getting corner boost, trying to get a bump. Let's see if that's a shot on net by Watto, but it doesn't look like anything's going to result from that.
Yeah, I don't think he got it off the front of the car the way he was hoping for. And Hood's just going to rotate around the pitch. See right there, a 51 by Ohio Northern. I couldn't see which player it was, but they've been so good at those along the edges and the walls. They just keep the ball on the SAGU side, and it makes it tough to get anything going.
Ooh, almost got past the defense right there. Crazy Kyle taking it in, trying to get his stat line to match his numbers on the back of his tag, being 4-1-4, but still a 0-score game. Still something that you have to fight for. You have to claw it for every inch that you're going with. Passing plays, almost providing something, but
a dangerous play there for the Polar Bears, but a great play by Lean to keep his wheels under him. Hood's going to try to go for that snipe, but it's going to go wide left. SAGU does have an opportunity here if they can win the 50, which Watto does. Ball stays on the Ohio Northern side. Crazy Kyle's going to go, and Hood's right there to follow up. You're seeing SAGU, and there's Kyle there. He's on the defensive side now, but you're seeing them work together a little bit to make a little momentum, but it's not enough to crack anything open. Hood's going to get a shot on goal, and it's not going to go in.
Get in the net.
That was unbelievably close. He had his opportunity, and he's going to try to pass it there to Crazy Kyle, but the opportunities razor thin. Huge save by Hood right there. He was the last man, and he's going to go off the double. He's going to go for the net and miss again. Hood is cooking right now. He needs another few pixels, and this is a 2-0 game. He just broke another ankle right there.
He's going for the demo too. Didn't get it. Almost something cool happened. I was about to yell, do a kickflip, but we're getting demos right now. I think, they're about to style.
It's a 2v2, but SAGU not able to capitalize. This is still a no score here as we're approaching a minute left. SAGU down 3-2. They need to win this game to go to game number 7 and have a chance to move to 500 on the season. Hood's going to take this to the middle. It's Pex. Watto's going to get some kind of a pinch maybe.
It's above.
And it's going to go over his head. This is a good opportunity for Bonbon if Hood can read it, and he does.
Wow.
That is an incredibly difficult save there by Hood, and the ball's going the other way. Not sure if SAGU can maintain possession, but an incredible defensive play by the Lions.
Kyle was already up for that, reading the ball where it's going to be. Looks like we have 2 people running up. We don't know if their third man even exists right now, but SAGU trying to get some offensive pressure. Hood and Watto both back right now, trying to interrupt the passing play. Ball gets to Lean, which is a dangerous position. Kyle ends up getting a good save. And what a clear.
Yeah. One thing in Rocket League is, again, you generally like to have your team, you like to have the team spread out a little bit. You don't want 2 going for the ball at the same time. And that was a huge shot there by Kyle. Ohio Northern able to keep the block. You generally do not want to have 2 of your players going for the ball, especially in the air at the same time. It's called double commit. And right now, there's zeros on the scoreboard and the clock as we are in overtime. First goal wins this game. If SAGU gets the goal here, we go to game 7. And a huge save by Kyle to keep that from happening. He needs another touch. He gets it.
Good touch.
And Ohio Northern, they need 1 goal to stay undefeated on the season. They're going to get one off the backboard, and that's not going to get the job done.
They set up every opportunity that they could, but it looks like they just didn't have the shot that they needed. Bonbon looking like he's still trying to keep the pressure up. Getting called off by Lean. Good clear by Hudson, Hood Rat, the Hoodlum.
Ohio Northern, they've done a great job putting the pressure on the Lions here. They have set the tone here in overtime. This Crazy Kyle's going to get a nice little dribble, and if he can dial his own number, he can!
Let's go!
We're going to Game 7, baby!
No Game 7!
Lions are back in this series.
You heard me mention earlier no Game 5s, right? We would say that, and every game would go to a Game 5, okay? I didn't get the chance to say it, but no Game 7s. I feel confident with the team in Game 7. They're doing great work. What I do want to point out is that Kyle didn't have any goals, assists. I don't even think he had saves until that the last minute and then the overtime.
It's the miracle car. That's what did it. He gets the goal. SAGU, how about this? I think this is the first series this year, or this year. This first game this series where SAGU's outshot the Polar Bears.
I think this is the second. First one was game game 4.
Yeah, game
for
4.
Obvious reasons.
Yes.
Okay, 3 goals, you get that. But no, it's you shoot more shots, you score more goals, and I think there was a lot of opportunities in scrambling that ONU just couldn't react to. So if I'm SAGU, I want to keep the offensive pressure. Okay, if I'm ONU, dude, where did we go from game 1 to game 2? We need to figure this out right now. So, that's kind of what we're looking at with all those things.
And Ohio Northern had their chances. They had their chances in overtime, shot after shot after shot, and they were not able to do it in that first 30, 40 seconds, and it just opened up the door for a little counterattack, just the little crack in the door, and SAGU uses that to get in and send us here to Game 7. And this is going to be a let's go! That's Watto is going to get the kickoff goal to now get SAGU in the lead. Only 3 seconds into this game.
Watto is just faster. What a shot by the man. Man, he's got to feel so excited too.
It's reflexes. It's just reflexes, and Watto is stepped up big time.
Looks like Kyle's taking it up off the wall. ONU trying to meet him there, but Watto is up. Hudson moving out of the third man position to get to second. Kyle is up in the air. Hudson being able to hang on, stay back, and provide defense, but it looks like Specs is looking for a pass play. Watto interrupts it. Hard pinch 50. Oh, it's a one-on-one with Hood Rat and Lean. Yeah, it doesn't look like anything.
He's going to go for that 50 and pass it to the middle. If we saw Crazy Kyle, I believe, was flying across there. If he can get a touch on that, that's a very decent chance at a goal.
It's kind of all that I ever see Kyle do is fly across. So as long as he's in that position, I feel comfortable with where the team's going.
There are different styles to playing this game. Crazy Kyle, he is going to be using all of his boost. He's going to collect a lot. He will be the one making a flashy play. And Hood is going to be the one making the flashy play here as SAGU now has a 2-0 lead.
Glad you guys got the Zeppelin view of this shot. Hood coming up, getting the touch, just a nice little pop, and it is a goal. We are up 2-0 in this last game. That's a very good position.
And SAGU, you could just tell they're getting comfortable. They're touching the ball. It's not hitting the crossbar. It's going in. And that comes sometimes just with playing for a little bit. You know, we're 30, 40 minutes into this game, and they're feeling good. And even though they were playing beforehand, there's just sometimes it's different when you're in a game with your team in the match. And we're seeing SAGU right here in a very good position, but 2-0, toughest lead to protect in this game.
Yep, it is the toughest lead to protect, and it looks like SAGU's just coming out of boost, not being able to protect what they need to do, and setting up their own plays. But ONU coming off with an offensive pressure move, clearing out to the corner. Good call up by Kyle. He's just letting Hood know, hey, I'm here. Let's get this ball rolling. And Lean even has to come back and say, hey, let's. Ooh, interrupted. Ooh. He is moving. Kyle is out here being the fastest man on the pitch.
And we see right here some communication right there. Hood, he gave it up. He left it to his teammate. And while it doesn't result in a goal, you're seeing that comfort of the team being able to trust a teammate. There's only 3 of you out there, and if you miss it, at this speed, it's very likely going to be a goal. And that trust is starting to mature here as we have something coming off the backboard.
Oh,
Kyle,
man.
huge save by Bonbon. He's coming across that back wall, and that was critical. And
That's a good shot.
It's Pex. He absolutely creates a clip right here to get the Polar Bears back in this game.
Yeah, put that on the ECAC highlight reel. What a top corner shot. Even that's corner down.
We're talking the highest professional levels, professional players in this game, playing at the highest level. They do not hit that shot very often. That is a very tough shot. And you're seeing Ohio Northern. They're stepping up here. They're not going to go down without a fight. This would be their first loss of the season.
Yeah. Imagine you're going into this match saying, "Hey, we're undefeated. This school is 1-2," and they took you to Game 7.
Yeah, and Ohio Northern had the first 2 games dead to rights. They outscored SAGU 8-0, and right now they're down a goal as we're just past halftime here. It's only a 5-minute game, and you have to like where SAGU is at right now. If they play smart and play patient, this is a good position.
Yep, and I think ONU is starting to get to that maturity level too of being like, hey, we can't just walk over these people. There is something calculated going on that we have to prepare for.
Now, this Ohio Northern team they're doing whatever they can to get the ball moving towards the SAGU net. As this one's going to be a great shot that Bonbon's going to find at the top right corner, and like we talked about, one opportunity and that's a goal.
Yep, and I think Watto, he needed that middle pad, and I think that was a ghost touch. Did you see that?
Barely.
I think that was it. If you guys don't know, there's certain times in games where if you hit something, it happens in Super Smash Bros. Melee, happens in Rocket League, where if you hit something where it's supposed to hit, sometimes it just won't read that it happened. The pixels don't count for whatever reason, and so what they call is a ghost touch or a ghost hit. I think Watto had that save, but the game didn't register that he saved it, and so it was just a goal, and that's an unfortunate thing, but it's part of the process, and we have to live with it.
And Bonbon is going to clutch up here, and under 90 seconds left, they've got 2 more goals, and now they're in the driver's seat to come away with the win. How about that pass down, a little bounce off the ground, tough to defend.
No Game 7s. That's all I got to say.
Speaking of Game 7s, Ohio Northern, they're 3-0, but all of their games have gone to at least 6, and their last 2 games they've won have been to game number 7. They are used to being here. They are comfortable being in this scenario where they have to win, where they are up and they have to protect the lead. And right now, you're seeing it. They're down 2-1, and now suddenly, SAGU, they've got to get on the offensive side of the ball. They cannot sit back. They have to attack, attack, attack. Watto's going to get something towards net. It looks like Hood was trying to bump, and that is not going to get an attack going for the Lions. That's a nice shot there by Lean, who's just caused so much trouble all night. Opportunity for Hood if Crazy Kyle's going to take an aerial across the field, but it's going to be safely tucked away by the Polar Bears. 30 seconds remaining. This is do or die for the Lions. They have to find a goal. They have to find a way. Watto, he's going to try to do something off the back wall.
Just has to clear it, man. There's
no
nobody
support.
there.
No support coming in for SAGU. Typically you want someone on your team kind of just flying in, pre-jumping. And right now SAGU, they're on the defensive side of the ball. The good news for them, though, they just need 1 goal. And they've already got 1 0-second goal this series, and they're going to need another one.
Welcome to the nice game of keep it up. Let's go.
And that's probably going to do it. It's off the wall on the ground, and that is going to be the game. Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
Game number 7, a 1-score game. That is unbelievably close for SAGU in a season that has been so many 1-goal games is going to go to be a team that's now 1-3.
I had to mention it to someone else recently. The nature of competition is not just competing. It's not just playing the game or trying to be the best. It is you go in and you have to understand that there's a winner and there's a loser, and you have to be okay with being either of those people. You can't settle for being a loser, but you need to make sure that, hey, there might be someone better than you. There might be someone that has that edge that you don't. You need to adapt and learn with them and become better than them. Not for any personal gain, but because your team needs you to be better. For your team to succeed, you have to put in the work and the effort. So that's the thing that SAGU can take away from this. Really, hey, we understand that we can lose, and we can lose with grace, but we can get back up with more confidence. That's how it has to work.
Strategically in the game, you saw SAGU go down 0-2, fight their way all the way back to Game 7, had the lead. This team is just on the verge of breaking out. Tell me what you saw overall, what you saw out of the team, their growth, their ability to come back from being down.
Yeah, like I said, I'm the underdog fan, the underdog story. Our school, technically, in all theoretic, nonsense of us, I'm surprised we have an esports program. I'm blessed that we have a team. I'm excited about it. Every day that I get to coach is fantastic. We as underdogs competing at this level is something that is magnificent and wondrous to me, and I'm so glad that our team is able to see that, hey, even though they were down 0-2, we will crawl back. We will fight tooth and nail. We will do everything in our passion and effort and ability to get our best work done, because it's not just about, and I put it this way, we have our esports room, it's called the arena, okay? And Theodore Roosevelt gave a speech, and he said, listen, it's not about the spectator. Okay, it's not about him. It's not about the guy who says you could have done better. It's not about the winner or the loser. It's about going into the arena and giving everything that you have and making sure that you leave it all out there. And honestly, I think they did that today. Game 1 and 2, yeah, they got swept. There's no other way to put it. Okay, yeah. They got rolled over, and that's fine. Game 3 and Game 4, they put in more effort than they had, and they made sure they stepped it up. ONU, in turn, had to step it up, which means we had to step it up, and so that went to Game 5 and Game 6, and then we get to Game 7. 1 goal difference.
Yeah, it was very back and forth. I mean, 2 for Ohio Northern, 2 for SAGU, 1 for Ohio Northern, 1 for SAGU. Well, it was just back and forth the whole game, and SAGU has a way of keeping it close. You cannot look at that record and think this team is one where you can start thinking, oh, I can get a win. This team, they could easily run the table here the last 4 weeks and be in the playoffs. I mean, this is a very real scenario for the Lions.
Yep, it is, and I think it's a scenario and a vision that they will have to understand, that they have to grasp. There hasn't been one semester where SAGU Lions hasn't made it to playoffs yet. I don't want that to start this semester either. No. We're down 1-3. This means that we're going to have to win our next 3 games out of 4. So, and these matches are already scheduled. It's not just a Swiss round robin that, for those of you guys who don't know, it's, hey, random matches for whoever has the same record. This was preset matches. So I think we're going to step it up more so in film of being like, hey, let's watch these other schools play. We know who they are. We know who the players are. Let's step it up in that sense. Let's also make sure that, hey, let's view our own film. Where did we have a lot of misses? If you look at Game 1 and 2, there were a lot of misses. A lot of misclicks, a lot of backflips when there were supposed to be double jumps and stuff like that. So, I don't know. I'm excited for the rest of the season. I always am. But we will have to step it up, and that'll be part of, again, the underdog story.
We'll be back next Wednesday at 7 o'clock. SAGU is going to be taking on Southern Maine, and their team name is not a color. A lot of these teams that go blue, black, orange, they're Team Checkmate.
Checkmate?
So hopefully SAGU will have the gambit to get around that. But anyway,
let's I'll let you have that. I was still processing Checkmate.
Hey, so well, anyway, SAGU Esports, they are on, you guys are on Twitch, you're on Twitter. You guys need to subscribe and follow. But there's one place where you've got to connect with SAGU Esports. Tell us about that, Rookie.
Yeah, so there's the SAGU Esports Discord. It's man, I almost called it the Lion's Den. You know how cool that would be? I need to work on that. But it's where all of SAGU Esports fan base, Twitter base, anything that's happening with us, where we can connect with you guys as a community. It's almost like a young person's Facebook for gamers. Okay, that's what I'd like to describe it as. But if you get in there, it's on our bio on Instagram. It should be within our stream as well. You guys should be able to find our Discord. Get plugged in, start talking to us. Say, hey, you know, how can I be involved? Where can I watch the streams at? Even if you want to talk to me, it's not like we have this hierarchy of you can't talk to Coach Wilkie. I'm out here casting today. This was not a part of the plan, but this is what needs to happen for the program. So if you guys have any questions, you can reach out to me on there. You can reach out to Kyle, who was one of the players tonight. Wado, he's also on there. That's really our big community. You can find out any tournaments we're having and stuff like that. So
the guys you saw play tonight, they are in there, and you can just chat. You can it's the hangout place. If you're a prospective student, you're thinking about joining esports, you have to join that Discord server at SAGU Esports, pretty much anywhere. but Instagram will have that link. Also, SAGU Sports Network, put on the production here. Go follow them at SAGU Sports Network,
Yes.
YouTube, Twitch, etc. Any final closing thoughts as we get ready for the rest of this week with Call of Duty on Friday?
No, just thank you guys. You guys are helping us out a lot. It's a lot better production than what we had, and saves a lot from us and worry and prep time, and saves our athletes a lot of time. So SAGU Sports Network, we appreciate you guys for all that you do, production and media stuff. So thank you very much.
Well, you're more than welcome. It's exciting to broadcast what's happening in SAGU esports. Mondays is Super Smash Brothers. Tuesday, Valorant. Tonight you saw Rocket League, and Friday we've got some Call of Duty, and we have a lot more coming up next week. So make sure you are subscribed, you're following, and you can find out what's happening in the world of SAGU esports. On behalf of our entire team, our crew, our players, our coaches, have a good night, and we'll see you next time.